Hello everybody and welcome to a Gamerverse tutorial video on gear traits here in Throne and Liberty. In this video, we will be discussing all there is to know about traits, how to unlock them, how to upgrade them. I would like to in this video discuss what's the best traits to have, but that would make this video quite too long. So that the best traits to have on a particular set of items will be done in a separate video. Now, every piece of gear in the game has a random trait that is unlocked when you take it to level 1, right? So as you can see, each of these items here will have a certain gear as they've been upgraded to a certain level, right? They unlock a certain trait. But depending on the type of gear, whether it's the green, the blue, or the purple, you will end up with a different number of traits that can be added. So if you're looking at your green tier items, they'll give you the ability to add one extra trait. Your blue tier items, you'll be able to have your normal traits that you would get anyway, plus 2 extra traits. And your purple will be plus 3 extra traits. Now, with traits, there are 2 major categories of dealing with traits, right? Or 2 major mechanics we need to know. The first is upgrading existing traits. So an item which already has traits, how can we upgrade these traits to taking it from trait tier 1 to trait tier 2, taking it on to the next level? And the second major mechanic we need to know is unlocking those new traits. Now let's begin with upgrading existing traits, since it's going to be the quickest one to get through. Now when it comes to upgrading existing traits, what you need is an item that is in the same category as the item that you wish to have its trait upgraded, but it doesn't have to have the same name. For instance, as you can see here, I've got Glade Stalker boots equipped and the Feathered Drakenskin boots in my inventory. Now I could use these Feathered Drakenskin boots to upgrade the Glade Stalker boots because they're in the same category, number 1, boots and boots, or chest piece and chest piece, or headset and headset, or sword with sword. But at the same time, they're also got to have the same trait. For instance, if we look at these 2 on screen, you notice that both of them have magic evasion. So it's both from the same category, not necessarily the same name, and with the same trait that I wish to upgrade. But the thing that most people are really interested in finding out about is unlocking new traits, because that's how we're going to get that armor set to exactly the same way we would want to have it, with all the items that we want for either PvP or PvE, to get the best possible build. How do we unlock these new traits? Now, unlocking new traits, there are 2 major mechanics again that we're going to use to unlock new traits, but there is a third option that is available for unlocking new traits, but that is available only for your purple tier items. Firstly, to unlock new traits, what we require is to be able to go here into this enchanting equipment or equipment chanting menu. We're going to traits, and if we want to unlock a new trait here, what we would need is another item with the exact same name. For instance, Glade Stalker boots, we'd need another Glade Stalker boots, and it would have to have the trait that we wish to unlock on this item. So we would just click on this unlock trait here, and then it would dissolve or break down our item from the material section here, and then unlock the trait, the new trait on our equipped item. Right? So that is the first way we can do this. Now, again, as I said, it would be nice to get into a complete video on what would be the meta traits to have on particular pieces of item. Like, what's the meta to have for your boots, or for a chest plate, or for a longbow or staff. But that is definitely a completely separate video to take us too long to get into now. So I will save that for a separate video. So on to the second way to get traits, and that is to go into the dangerous realms, into the dark spaces, the dark web, shall we say, of the auction house, and purchase the traits that we require. But this is a little bit of an expensive process, but there are ways to mitigate the expense. But again, that's going to be a discussion that we will have in a separate video on the best way to optimize or maximize the amount of lucent that you can get from sales so that you can purchase the traits that you want immediately. Now, the third way of unlocking traits, this is unique to purple items. And so what we need to deal with unlocking traits with purple items, and this is maybe the best way of unlocking a trait, it's to use a very, very special stone. This stone is known as the trait unlock stones. So I'm just here in the lithograph because the lithograph is one of the ways where you can acquire these trait unlock stones. And so you can see from the description, right, trait unlock stones. You can use these stones, or you've got enough of them, to unlock a trait of your choice. So it unlocks the potential traits that are available, and you get to select the one that you feel is going to be best for your equipment. And that's a very, very huge positive. So being a very, very huge positive, there should obviously be a very, very huge negative that goes along with it. Because, I mean, it's not like you're just going to have the option to just unlock every single trait that you want just by collecting these stones. The problem here is that the trait unlock stones are exquisitely difficult to get. And so when you collect them, and we will discuss in a moment how to collect them, but when you do collect them, you really need to be certain of what you want to do with it. Right, you've got to spend these stones very wisely, because, well, whichever item you spend this on, you need to be not just 100, 1,000, 10,000% certain that that's the item that you would want to have in your main gear. Now, the ways that you can collect these trait unlock stones, they can be acquired from your codex. They can also be acquired from the lithograph book, as we can see here on screen, and from the mystic globes that you will find scattered across Silesium. Those are 3 out of the 4 ways to actually get these trait unlock stones. But as you can see, to actually complete this entry here, like Ender's Strike, to complete this entry on your lithograph book to have this unlocked is not going to be the easiest task in the world. So the most reliable method that we have for unlocking trait stones is to actually go into your weekly missions. And, well, since I haven't unlocked anyone, I don't have anything I can claim. But let's say I did. Let's say I completed all the co-op dungeon stuff that I needed to do, right? So I've got this co-op dungeon completed. And then instead of claiming the rewards for the weekly reward for completing all the missions here for the co-op dungeons, there'd be an option here at the bottom of the screen where I can swap out these rewards for the trait unlock stones. And that is the most reliable way to collect them, but it will be slow going to actually get the total that you require to unlock that one trait that you need. So it's best to spend it on traits that are the most expensive. So you build it up, you get that trait, and then, like I said, gotta be like 10,000% certain that that's the one that you want to unlock. So one of the most common questions I get asked is when we have a piece of equipment, say, for instance, this Cloak of Accuracy, and I want to, it's got this debuff duration trait, and I want to swap it out. I'm not happy with this trait. I mean, although, to be honest, right, that's not a trait that you'd want to swap out on any items. It's actually a very, very good trait to have. But let's say I for the sake of argument, I want to swap this out with another trait because I'm just not happy that this is on this particular item. Is there any way that I can swap out traits? And yes, there is. We can get into, again, our equipment enchanting menu onto traits and trait conversion. Now you can see here at the bottom we have these trait conversion stones. So trait conversion stones can be used to swap one trait with the other. And there's 2 ways we can do it: a guaranteed trait conversion and a trait chance conversion. Let's start off by discussing this guaranteed trait conversion. Now, to use the guaranteed trait conversion to swap one trait with another, it works on the same mechanic as trait unlocking. So you'd need the same item, same item, same name, with obviously the trait that you wish to swap out, and you would go ahead and say, click on this, and you would do your trait conversion from here. But as you can see, like, I don't have an item of the same name, so menu took me straight to the trait chance conversion. So what's the trait chance conversion? This is when you don't have the item available, but you've got enough of these trait stones. It's a little bit of a gamble, like a lottery. So if you're feeling lucky, you can just click this, or maybe if you've got enough trait stones as you've been collecting them and got a ton of them, you can just keep clicking on this until it unlocks the trait that you want to have. It's random, as the name suggests, chance conversion. So you got to get a little bit lucky to get the exact trait that you would want on this particular item. Now the question is, where do we get these trait conversion stones from? So the trait conversion stones can be acquired through various methods. And you just have to check it out in your inventory, and it gives you most of the methods that you have available to you for collecting this. But the most reliable method is to head on to your guild merchant. So naturally, you'd have to be part of a guild to have access to a guild merchant. So you go to your guild merchant, and as you can see, there's trait conversion stones in here, but it is limited to about 100 stones weekly, so you won't just be able to purchase everything that you need and just spam it. It's 100 stones weekly, right? Now finally, let's talk about another stone, a stone that I've seen in many tutorial videos where people have been saying, right, you've got to make sure you get this, which is this particular stone, the trait extraction stone. And so I have seen a lot of videos, especially when talking about traits, where they'll say, make sure you get these trait extraction stones, because you only get, I think it's about a 3 daily limit that you can purchase once you join a guild. Let me be honest, this stone is only necessary if you want to sell items or sell traits on the auction house. Because if you use the stone to extract a trait and then think, okay, I'm going to extract this trait and then apply it to one of my piece of equipment, no. The way that we unlock traits on a particular piece of equipment is the way we mentioned. Otherwise, you'd be able to extract a trait from a completely different piece of equipment and then apply it to the one that you want. So the designers of the game, they knew what they were doing when they were getting this design through. The trait extraction stone, once you extract a trait, the only thing you can really do with it is sell it. So that's what it's for. It's for auction house and selling of traits. But if you're interested in that, where do we get these trait extraction stones from? Well, they can be found from the mystic globes and portals around Silesium. They can be purchased from the contract coin merchant, right, with a daily limit of 420. And it's also a reward from the lithograph books and certain dynamic events. Now, if you made it this far into the video, a big thank you for tuning in and watching this. Please, if you haven't already, press that like, share, and subscribe button. And stay tuned for future Throne and Liberty videos brought to you here by Game of Us. Well, thank you for watching.